Hello.
Hi.
Hi, guys. Thanks for coming to another episode of All the Rumors Are True. And today I have the lovely Tara Richardson with me.
Hello.
So Tara and I met because she did someone's divorce that I know. Yep. And he was like, hey, can you come to this meeting with me? And I was like, sure. Had no idea I was coming to meet a divorce attorney. And then I saw you.
It's always fun.
Well, honestly, I thought you were like an accountant or something because those are usually the meetings we go to.
Yeah, I'm way more fun than an accountant.
Facts. That's facts. And so I walked in. We were at Hotel Emma.
Yeah.
And I walked in and I saw you and I was like, oh my God, she's a doll. And you were like, you have to sign this waiver if you're going to be at this meeting. And I was like,
who shows up to happy hour with a waiver?
You do. And I was like, don't really know about documents, but okay. And then he was like, oh, well, she's handling my divorce. And I was like, cool.
I did make you sign a waiver.
You did. The first day that I met you. But honestly, then we've been friends since.
Yeah.
Because I respected that. Because you weren't.
I had to protect my client.
But not everybody would do that, right?
Yep.
I've unfortunately am currently in a lawsuit and I have 4 attorneys. Do not recommend getting sued or suing someone because boy, oh boy, it is taxing. But yes. My team was the exact same way. One of my girlfriends who's also in litigation came to one of our meetings and they the second she walked in, they were like, no, she has to leave and she goes, no, I'll sign whatever it's called. Because she already knew right away. But I appreciated that about you now that I know that I deal with my own attorneys, how, some don't really care. They'll just talk to you and
in front of somebody who could be a potential witness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I want to start with why law school?
Oh gosh. Because I don't science, so I couldn't go to medical school. So
I don't science. I love that.
No, my mother's an attorney. My sister's an attorney. I grew up just knowing that that's what I was going to do. And my dad is a pastor in San Antonio. So people are my passion. I love people and helping people. And so that was kind of I knew I was going to be a lawyer. And then you throw in what practice area, how can I help people? And do I want to defend insurance companies or do I want to help people? And while insurance companies need representation, that wouldn't satisfy me. And so what would fulfill me is helping people. And family law is a way to really help people.
And have you done family law ever since law school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went into law school knowing this is what I'm going to do. I took certain classes to be a trial lawyer for family law matters.
Wow. Okay. So I'm very generalized questions, I guess I would say. How do you step away from work?
I have wonderful friends like you.
Oh, thanks, girl.
That's how we have fun. I have wonderful friends, and that's kind of my, I love the city. I mean, we have such a great city here.
Yes.
And that's how I meet a lot of my clients is I'm just sitting at a great restaurant and somebody starts talking and I talk to strangers, whether that's a good or a bad thing, but I love talking to strangers.
I talk to everybody too.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I met my client that is just talking to strangers. And they start, when the thing that you decide whether you want to tell somebody that you practice family law is, do I want this person to tell me about their problems?
Right.
Sometimes I'm a greeting card writer and I don't want that person. They're like, what do you do? I'm a greeting card writer. But you tell somebody that you practice family law and they'll start telling you about what they're going through. And it's how can I help you? Maybe they're already represented and that person is not giving them the best representation. We need to course correct here. And I can help you. Or maybe you need to have a different conversation with your current representation. And this is the conversation you should have so that they can help you in a different way. But how I kind of work-life balance it is spend time with my friends. I love the arts and culture of our community. I love our restaurants. I mean, I live just north of downtown in the wonderful Beacon Hill community. Which is just thriving. I just like being out and about. I like being walking distance to a lot of places.
Yes,
and
which is nice.
I mean, I walked to Julia's last night and then to the lovely Copper Rose right across the street, glass of wine, walked myself home. It's just a great community.
I just wondered because I get so emotionally attached personally to things, and I feel like I just would just constantly be in like work mode because I would just be thinking about the divorce and the custody that I just mediated or whatever.
I don't take work home with me.
So I need to take some tips from you.
Yeah, I don't take it home with me. I do go into the office on the weekends because there's a lot to do and I got to be ready for folks. I mean, I've got a hearing on Monday morning and it was a holiday. So I took time off. I mean, I went to the coast and, like everybody does. And now it's like, oh, shit. I got to get ready. Yeah. So I'm going to go into the office this afternoon and make sure that I'm ready to roll in the morning.
So at any given time, how many like clients do you have?
I keep a low docket so that I can spend more time and attention.
Love that.
I'm not a volume lawyer. That's not the firm that I work for. We're not a volume firm. We are all word of mouth. We don't market. It is all word of mouth.
And what firm do you work for?
I work for Langley and Banach. So it's a great firm. We're a multi-practice area firm. We do a lot of transactional, a lot of real estate, some oil and gas. I am part of the family law practice, and we have offices here in San Antonio and New Braunfels, Fredericksburg, and I'm in all of those offices. So I service Bexar County, the surrounding counties, and I really like going out to Gillespie County, as one would.
Yeah,
I'm like, let me do an overnight there.
Yeah,
right. I joined Signor because Signor has a new tasting room right behind the Langley and Banach office on Main Street.
Love that.
In Fredericksburg, and it's just
you just walk there.
Oh yeah, it's literally right around.
Literally, you're like, hey, I'm done with work for the day. I'm walking here.
Yeah,
and I'm going to stay the night.
Get my complimentary glass of wine. And
now there's that like new, really nice hotel on Main Street. Mm-hmm. Somebody from Austin built it or whatever. I was supposed to go a few weeks ago. It wasn't a few weeks ago. It's already been a few months. I can't believe it's July already, right? Like I feel like time's just flying this year. But it was when those fires broke out. And so they refunded my money, but I was going to go because I was like, I love going to little towns and just checking out their new stuff and shopping and walking around. I went to Bernie a few weekends ago and just got a hotel there because I was like, I want to just enjoy myself in the slower pace. But I wanted to stay at that hotel there, but those wildfires happened and they were like, yeah, nobody can like enter or exit Fredericksburg right now. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll come back later.
Guess I'm not doing that.
Yeah, not doing that at all. Well, and I had, you and I had met up to hang out recently and I was filling you in on like who my team is. And one thing that I loved that you said, you were like, well, who all do you have? And I have 4 and I named them all. And you were like, you're in great hands. And it was like, that's so reassuring to hear that from somebody who practices exactly, what they do. Not one of them, but it was so reassuring to hear that. And I loved your honesty. And you were like, if they were bad, I would tell you like, hey, come to me or go this way or that way.
To poach somebody else's client. Yeah. Like you're in good hands with your own situation. This is the conversation that you need to have with your counsel.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And how many years have you been?
I've been practicing I'm going to age myself here. 13 years. And before I practiced law, I taught high school English.
You did?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
It was a really weird time in my life. But no, I graduated college really young and I was going to grad school at the same time. And I like needed a job. And my dad was like, this is like pre-Obama. So like health insurance. My dad was like, well, just do something with health insurance. And I was like, okay,
right. Yeah.
I guess I'll teach high school. And so I taught 11th and 12th grade English and I was 21 years old.
Girl. And these guys I know were taller than you and bigger than you. Some of them. Because you're
and I coached 6th grade girls basketball.
What?
And David Robinson's daughter was one of my kids. I was like,
How do you even coach somebody like that?
Let's do the 3-man weave. And like David Robinson is like, good job, coach. And I'm like,
He's like, get her out of here.
no, they were so
I'm just
nice. No,
kidding.
they were like normal, completely normal folks. But
That is wild.
and I coached varsity track because, as you can see, I'm like runner type. But
yeah. Do you run? Or
not anymore. I sit. I run my mouth.
Well, girl, I've run my mouth a lot and I sit a lot, and it shows when you look at your legs and then mine.
Yeah, I don't do anything. I run my mouth.
Well, I have a random story. So when I was 12 years old, I went to Washington, D.C., and like we were there for like 2 weeks. I had a cousin that was stationed in Norfolk. I can never say that right because it sounds wrong. But we like stayed at their house and they let us borrow one of their cars. And so we did like all of Virginia and DC and the whole thing. It was like a 2-week long trip. And I argued my way into the White House.
I'm so proud of you.
Yes. I'm proud of me too. I probably should have been a lawyer, but I really can't shut the fuck up. Like I'd be like, Your Honor, you're wrong. Like I would I could never like
Sus.
I have the screenshots, Judge. Like I would not like I would be the worst.
I have argued there are some transcripts out there. I'm like, this is garbage. Like I had an entry hearing, and an entry hearing is where you're arguing with the other side on like the drafting of an order. And the other side was supposed to prepare the order. She did not. So I prepared it and then I set it for entry. She then, right like the eve of this hearing, takes my order, and I think she like copy pasted it, but she took it from active voice, which is what I prepared, and put it into passive voice, which one should not do. And I was like, no, we don't do that. So I drove all the way to Guadalupe County to argue that active voice is important. Like, and there is a transcript out, there's a record that says am, is, are, was, were, and be, and the forms of being, those are passive verbs. We don't use them, and they do not belong in the orders of this court, Your Honor.
Oh gosh.
And the judge was like, Miss Richardson, respectfully, I don't think those are material. Those are linking verbs, and they do not belong in the records of this court.
I feel like it was
petty. Sometimes I can be petty AF, but.
Well, I mean, but don't you kind of have to be in your line of work?
I try not to be usually because it costs my client money, and but I will defend the active voice till the day I die.
I mean,
don't change my order and make it passive.
No, just don't
do it. Don't do it.
Don't plagiarize.
Yeah.
Even though
I will drive an hour and a half to go argue on behalf of the active voice.
I cannot. Well, I mean, I will. Hopefully, I don't ever have to hire you. The way that I cannot wait for like my scenario and situation to be done, because it is so taxing. Yeah. Just like I mean, I know it's your job and you disassociate yourself like right when you're out of work. And me, like it just lingers with me all day, every day.
Right. Well, because it's your real life.
Right.
Right.
And
for me, it's my job.
Right. Yeah. And for me, it's not. And so it's like, it's just so taxing. Yeah. One thing that I wish I kind of would have known prior to walking into my situation, which hopefully this helps somebody if they hear it, is just how long it takes.
It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and it's a marathon that like you think you're on a certain course, and then like all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, like I'm off the trail, and then you've got to like get back on the trail, and so you definitely have to be in it for the long haul, and just know like this is going to take a long time, and it's going to cost a lot of money. Yes. And so listen to your counsel when they say this. How important is this issue to you? Like, is it worth X amount of dollars to you? Is it worth the stress to you? And then decide, maybe it's not. And I do that a lot with my clients. I try to reach agreements first, because agreements are much more efficient than let's like go down to the courthouse and fight about this. Like that's going to cost a lot of money, and it's a gamble because you don't know
what judge you're getting. Number one.
Exactly.
I never knew that. We've gone to court twice now. We went in November and then in April. and you don't know until that morning what judge you get.
Oh yeah, it's a cattle call, and then you just get sent out.
Literal cattle call.
Yeah.
Like, it's the wildest. Like, you've done this. You've grown up with your mom as an attorney, so there was probably talks at the dinner table. So you probably knew a lot about it before you even went into it. And me going into this, I'm in a custody battle, right? Duh. Yeah. Like, I think everybody that knows me knows that.
Which is ridiculous.
Anyway, which is, yeah.
That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, which is absurd. But I didn't know all these things. I didn't know, it's always going to be a different judge. I didn't know the length of time, how long it would take for all of this. The money, especially, I didn't know. I mean, it's like you blink and you're charged. Like, like I get these invoices and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, it's like plug in brain, that clock starts. If I have to plug in my brain, because that's what.
Yeah, because you're working.
That's what,
I'm working. You're clocking in.
Yeah.
Which,
and it's valuable.
Oh, it's very valuable. Yeah. And what you do is needed, right? It's very needed. And I feel sorry and that's one thing that I really want to advocate for once my situation is done and over with. I really, really want to help people that can't afford counsel. Yeah. Like, I really do.
There are services out there. Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid goes by TRALA. That's a victim services. And they also do indigent divorces. Richard Loza has been he's a wonderful advocate, and he works with TRALA. And then there's the Bexar County Family Justice Center for victims of domestic violence.
See, like, I was about to say, love that. No, I don't love that, but
no,
I want to help.
Services.
Yeah, I want to help
and
people.
If people do need those services, those are resources where they can go. The Bexar County Family Justice Center, TRALA, Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid. Those are great resources.
Good to know. Yeah. Which I was going to talk to you about it anyway, because people, even if you're right, there's a right and a wrong or whatever, but I feel like people probably run out of stamina. Mm-hmm. They probably run out of money faster than anything.
Oh yeah, that would be true.
Yeah, because they're bleeding out. Yeah. And I thank God, I never understood why my parents were always like, you need to have a savings account. You need to have a savings account. And thank God I did, because now this little avenue that I've gone down, I'm like, whoa, I'm glad that I had it. I'd be selling a kidney if not.
Oh yeah. I'm there with you, girl.
Yeah.
I am a member of I'm also a member.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So I'm assuming you hire different counsel if you ever need it, or do you go within your firm? Like, if I
needed something?
Yeah.
I went outside. I didn't do my own divorce. I had another firm do mine.
I just wondered how that worked. If that was like a conflict of interest.
It wouldn't be anything. A conflict. I just would think it's tacky.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
My parents actually used Langley and Banach for some estate planning, because we also do estate planning.
Love that. Well, I don't have any estate planning because all my money's gone.
I have no estate to plan.
I have no estate to plan.
I keep it real simple.
Yeah. I'm like, if I die, just sell the house, whatever's left over. I don't know.
Yeah.
Give it to TRALA.
I just did a will, and I was like, can somebody please take care of my dog, Charlie? I have a pet trust. I really do.
Well, who was that celebrity that died and they only had like a dog and they left, and it was like hundreds of millions? Who was that? Now that's going to bother me.
It's going to bother me too. I'm going to have to Google it later.
Yeah, I know. Because because I remember reading about it thinking like that was the most ludicrous thing I'd ever heard, because then somebody had to be assigned obviously to care for the animal.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm like, so when the animal dies, like, where does the money go?
Yeah. Like he can't make a will.
No. Like, bark. Like, what?
Bark if you mean yes.
Yeah. That was like the most, but people are nuts. That is one thing I've also learned. Oh, look, here we go. Leona Helmsley. Oh, she left $12 million in a trust fund for her dog. Oh. There's another one though, but
it's a Maltese. I have a Maltipoo, so I love that.
$12 million to a dog. That's going to be Taylor Swift. She's going to leave her billions to those cats, I bet.
Oh, I bet.
I
hope she does.
Yeah, because she, she might need your services. I feel like she'd be somebody that would have been divorced multiple times if she ever got married.
Oh yeah.
But she hadn't made it down the aisle yet. But Joan Rivers and her will, she left 100 and, oh no. Oh, well, her dogs were included.
And her dogs.
150 million to her daughter, grandson, and dog.
But you can actually do a pet trust. Like it's a thing. Like you create a trust and it's for like the care for your pets and you just include it in your documents.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So somebody, I guess somebody like me, what would your advice to be like on an estate planning? So like, I don't really have much, right? I have my cars and my house.
You need a simple will packet.
Okay.
And that's like a will, a statutory power of attorney, a durable power of attorney, a physician's directive. And that way, like, because we all die. I mean, death and taxes, right? Like,
yes.
Yeah, you start dying the day you're born.
Literally.
Sorry to take it there.
Literally. Or you start dying more the day you have to hire lawyers.
Yeah, it just accelerates the process.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I've aged a lot. I need a lot more Botox up in this area.
Yeah, you start dying the day you're born. So go ahead and get your documents done.
So like a DNR and all that stuff you put in there.
Yeah.
Well, then I might have to go to, what is it? Langley
and Banach. We do that.
Langley and Banach guys. Yeah. So because, that's good to know because somebody like me, I'm like, well, I don't have much.
You still need it.
But I still need it, right?
Yeah.
So that's
because you'll be dead and then somebody's gonna have to deal with your shit. So
that's facts.
And it's gonna be your family. And you don't want your family having to deal with that while they're also really sad.
Grieving.
Really sad.
Yeah. And speaking of grieving, do your clients come to you, would you say more with grief or more with like anger?
Across the board.
Is it? Because you deal with divorces.
Yes. Yeah.
And custody.
Yeah. It's across the board. I mean, some of them are mad. Some of them are processing their grief through anger, if that makes sense. Yes. People process grief in different ways. They process sadness and madness in different ways. And this is probably like the whole quote unquote counselor at law thing where you kind of have to discern that. And maybe that's kind of more my skill set is really understanding. I mean, different lawyers are different. I mean, some people just treat it like, oh, we're just dividing up kids and money. But really helping people traverse this season in their life and doing it with care and conscientiousness. Because they are going through something that's really challenging. Some of them are angry. Some of them are, there are veterans and they have PTSD and they have TBI, traumatic brain injury, and they're dealing with that on top of this. And so that just adds another layer, right? And so being able to understand that, unfortunately, I did a little bit of practice in medical malpractice on the plaintiff's side for about 3.5 years. Just taking a break from family law. And so I learned a lot about traumatic brain injury and how that affects people and their emotions and how they process information and how they react. Because I'm like, okay, this person is screaming at me, but it's not at me. It is at the situation. Right. They're overwhelmed. And so I think that kind of creates a really special niche for my practice is that I understand that. I get it. Like I have studied that. I pay attention to how PTSD can affect somebody who's triggered by what's going on in their life. Because it's not just, fireworks are making them have issues. The fireworks inside their house, right?
Inside their head.
Right.
Yeah.
Like their kids are going nuts. Their spouse is going nuts. And that is going to trigger the trauma that's psychological.
Going on.
And so having that understanding and being able to speak to them in a way, number one, is compassionate. Like, I get it. It's okay. Like, this isn't the time for this conversation. Let's take a break. In this call, we can have another call tomorrow and I'll be here tomorrow. And if you need me and if something's keeping you up at night, send me an email and I'll call you in the morning and we'll talk about it.
I love that. Yeah. And because you do have to be such a big sounding board too, right? You just have to hear and they're ranting about other things, and you're like,
they're like off the charts.
Yeah, you're like, this has nothing to do with what's at hand, but Okay.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
And just different little things will trigger people, whether it's PTSD, TBI from like you've got my vets. I mean, you got to take care of that, but also with your vets, you've got really unique retirement and asset division situations. I mean, that just takes that's a whole other avenue with a divorce, and people don't think about that with our veterans.
Well, yeah, because
and there's certain types of VA disability are classified under Chapter 61, and not to get all woo-woo into the legal of it, but it's under federal law. And some lawyers just don't know that, and it's not divisible. So that is that veteran's undivisible retirement or disability, can't touch it. And some lawyers don't know that. And I've actually had to argue with mediators before and tell them, like, no, here's the law. We're gonna
read
talk.
right here.
Yeah.
This is where it says it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this.
Gosh, the way that I'd pull everything out, the receipts. I'd be like, look, right here, this is where it says it. But I never thought about divorce in that way. I just, like, when you're divvying up assets, like, that would have never crossed my mind.
The most important things to people are their kids and their money, what they've worked hard for in both aspects. So
that is child support a big issue?
Child support's statutory. It's math. People make a really big freaking deal about it, and I just have to. You just tell people it is math. It is a formula.
It is literally. It is what it is.
You made this many people. You are going to pay this much.
Right. Right. And
shouldn't have made a whole basketball team.
Yeah. Should have stopped at 2. So is this true? Because I don't know that with child support, it caps at 20% of what you make a year. Is that true or false?
Well, it depends on how many kids you're obligated to support.
Say there's one.
One is 20% of your net resources from any resources whatsoever.
Got it.
After taxes.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. But then when you get into more kids, then obviously it goes higher.
It caps off at 40%, and you can have like 19 children, but it's capped off at 40% of your net resources.
Good to know.
And there's some different factors in it. I mean, I kind of blanketed, I generalized it with like, it's just math, but it can get kind of factors oriented, like who's paying for what. It's the minimum basic needs. It is not daycare. It is not extracurriculars. It is not summer camp. It is minimum basic needs. And so if one parent is paying for the minimum basic needs, then that parent is obligated to receive child support. And we can do some offsets. I mean, there's different ways. And I honestly think it's better to agree to something that's outside of guidelines based on the available financial resources of both parents and what makes sense. Like, that's when having a private attorney, as opposed to going through the office of the attorney general, some people think, oh, let's just go through the OAG and not spend money. That is a shit show. You do not want to do that.
Yes.
Like, it's going to take forever. You're going to be rubber stamped, and it's just going to be like, oh, 20% or 25%, like however many kids you have, and here's your income. No, like, really look at what makes sense for your family, and you have a private attorney who can say, okay, your kid is in barrel racing or whatever. That's an expensive sport, so let's take that into consideration. Or, the kiddo has some special needs, and so we've got some, we've got tutoring, or we've got, some other things, and that's expensive. Or our kid has celiac disease, so we've got really expensive grocery bills. Like, really think about tailoring it to your family's unique, complex dynamic, and having an attorney who pays attention to that.
Well, I think just having representation is so important.
Yeah.
There's just so many things that just because your friend went through a divorce and
that's my favorite. It's, oh, well, my friend.
Yes. Oh my God. Well, one of my friends, which I've never been married, but one of my friends got divorced and they have a daughter, and she's like, oh, well, my friend used this person and she only had to pay da da da. And I'm like, every scenario is different when it comes to this.
Oh, it's case by case.
Like every scenario. And I know this personally because my dad divorced my birth mother and then his second wife. And those two divorces were vastly different. Yeah. And mind you, like my dad and birth mother's divorce, her brother's an attorney, and he just represented both of them. And my dad was like, you can have the house and you can have her and child support and what. Like, it was very easy peasy. with his second wife, it was wild.
Yeah.
Like it drug on forever. And that's when I first kind of started seeing about, because a few years prior to their divorce was when I argued myself into the White House. And all my family was like, you need to be a lawyer. Like I argued my way into the White House. That I like, what, how? So I don't even to this day know why they let me in and why they thought a 12-year-old, I was 12 or 13, why my argument was so valid, but they let us in. And I kind of thought, oh, I should be a lawyer because I'm good at this arguing thing. And then my dad's divorce was like, I think I was like 15. So it was just like a few years later. And after seeing how long it took and the amount of money and all of that, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
It was like, it took forever. And he let her keep the house because my brother was there. And he moved into like a 2-bedroom apartment. And mind you, she didn't work. She didn't have a job.
She has no incentive to get things done.
No, none. And so it was like, it just kept going on and on. And I'm like, is it final yet? Is it final? And he's like, nope. And then I was like, yeah, I can't do that. That's just, you have to be patient and I'm not patient. Yeah. This process for me has shown me, because I am a Christian. I'm open about that. I've never talked about it on the pod, but I am a Christian and patience is a virtue, right?
Yes.
It's one I never got. I never got patience. I didn't. God was like, we're going to skip patience right past Millicent.
Like, we'll just make her really pretty.
Yeah. We'll just give her a big mouth and she took a lot of shit. She's never going to be patient. And I'm going to tell you what, this process, I have really grown a lot of patience, which I'm kind of proud of myself for because I've never had it before, but it was told to me from the get, like, don't expect anything overnight.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Yeah. No, I think that's one of the really important things to let people know is like, this is not going to, unless you like walk into my office, like we've already agreed to everything and we're just here for you to like do paperwork.
Right.
Like, this is going to take time. Especially in like rural counties. Oh my goodness. Like Bexar County, you can kind of clip along at a steady pace. I mean, I practice out in Gillespie County and Comal County and Guadalupe County. I mean, they don't have court like on a regular basis. I mean,
like every day, like we do here, or Monday through Friday,
right? Like I can't get a court. It'll be like, we'll go in 30 days. Like, and that's just the nature of more rural county. Those outside counties like Kirk County, Kendall County. I mean, I go all through the hill country, and it'll be a good solid 30 days before I can get a court date.
Wow.
And so
and that's wild to like, and you've already probably been waiting 6 months anyway.
Right. The person comes to me and I'm like, okay, well, let's get a court date. And then the court's like, oh, it'll be 6 weeks.
Oh my God. Like, well, I grew up originally from Uvalde, but then in Beeville. And so that was B County. And cause like one of my attorneys was like, oh yeah, like I used to, Judge Bauer was there and she was my next door neighbor. Mm-hmm. And one of my attorneys was like, oh yeah, like I had to try a case in B County and she was a tough cookie and da-da-da. And I was like, yeah. But I remember growing up and because it was so small and everybody gossiped and everybody knew everybody there. And it was like cases took so long there. Yeah. Like there was some girls, they got hit by a drunk driver when I was in high school and I went to high school with all these girls. And one of them I still cannot believe she's alive and she's like alive and well. But it was a huge thing and it took forever to try that guy, like to get him locked away for his life. Wow. But maybe that makes more sense to me now, maybe since it's a rural city. Like,
well, and the judges kind of travel around. And so,
yeah.
But we have some great judges. I mean, there's a few judges that I really, really like. And it's kind of neat to have like some, which I love our more senior judges, but we've got some younger judges and lady judges, that are traveling around and they are great. I just love them.
Well, I unfortunately have only met the judges because I was in front of them. But both of the judges that I have been in front of, they seemed nice.
Good.
I don't know how long you get. I've met other judges through my friend Milton. He's a dermatologist, and they have these parties at their office. And so I've met judges from like New Braunfels, like smaller town, and they're all super nice.
Yeah. Like
super nice guys. It's all men that I've met through them. But I don't. embarrassingly enough, I don't know a lot about San Antonio's
We have some great judges.
and like the DA, the mayor.
yeah.
Like I know nothing about the new mayor.
I don't know much about her.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's all I got on that.
I don't know much about just the local politics or anything here, really.
I know quite a bit about the local politics. I'm going to miss Mayor Nuremberg. I liked him a lot. Seems like he's going on to some bigger and better things.
He's going to Trinity, right? I think he's going to to be a professor or something.
But I think he might be running for something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I don't want to overspeak.
So I've had to deal with him at, I'm in the alcohol industry, and I've had to deal with him at functions that like Silver Eagle and Glazier's, the two distributors here. And he's always been so nice.
Oh, he's so
I mean, like
nice.
he wouldn't know me if he saw me, but very gracious, very nice.
So nice.
Always has been. Yeah. So I don't know much about San Antonio politics. And I guess that's something that, I should care about since I live here and I pay taxes.
Well, you pay
here.
taxes. Yeah. As a homeowner, we should.
I should probably care. Yeah. These taxes are going up. What do we got to do to get them down? I'm just kidding. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. This was a blast. And
as much fun as talking about family law can be.
Right. Well, I still had fun.
I always have fun with you.
I always have fun with you too, though. But I thank you for it. And even if one person watching this, if this makes them, hey, I need a will, because now I need a will. So there's one. Yeah. Maybe one more person watching.
If we got to.
Can reach out and get a will, or if they need help
if somebody's
with anything.
going through something, with their family, if you've got a family law matter, whether it's a divorce or modification, or even, you're going to get married or you're already married and you need a property agreement. I mean,
she's who you call, guys. Miss Richardson right here. Well, thanks so much for coming on, babe.
Thank you.
I will talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. Thanks, guys. That was a good one. That was beyond good. That was so good. Oh, somebody's going to deal with it if I